is getting ridiculous. I've never seen anybody approaching 2 minutes.
Since 1977, over 150 athletes have competed at World's Strongest Man.
And the vocal cords give assistance.
Many of its most iconic moments belong to the sport's legends, but plenty more have come from less well-known figures.
When it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet.
For years, moments like these have remained locked away, buried in the vaults. But today, we're busting them out in the World's Strongest Man Magic Moments.
Well, the world record in any sport is worth cheering, and that one was very special indeed.
We begin in the 2014 final and a simply remarkable keg toss on the hot sands of Venice Beach, California. Two-time world champion Brian Shaw was the favourite, but the young Icelander Hafthor Bjornsson was planning to blow the minds of everyone present.
Historically, Brian has owned this event, so this could be where he moves up the scoreboard.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely looking forward to see his explosive, athletic, raw power. Look at that, Brent. He's throwing the kegs in place. He's not taking that hop step back. He had 3 kegs in the air before 6 seconds had passed.
And 2 in the air at one time, all the way through.
Look at those 55-pounders. Look at that one sail way over the top.
16.59 and into the lead. What a show put on by Shaw.
With 8 kegs and an amazing time of 16.59 from the USA.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen B. Shaw a little chippy. It's clear, Brent. He thinks he's right back in.
Not done yet, baby. Not done yet.
This is one of the guys that Brian Shaw is going to have to chase down if he wants to win a 3rd title. It's Iceland's Hafthor Bjornsson, the co-leader along with Saviskus.
Well, Shaw just put some pressure on him. Let's see how Hafthor responds.
Not a matter of if he's going to get 8, it's if he can beat Shaw's time.
Yeah, Thor is equally as explosive and powerful as Shaw, and he's pushing him pretty good here, Brent. Look at that. He's not even looking over his shoulder to see if those kegs are flying over. He knows it.
Final keg into the sand.
Brent, that line drive on that last keg beat Brian Shaw's time by 0.24 seconds. That might have been the difference.
The new leader of the keg toss with 16.35 seconds from Iceland, Hafthor Bjornsson.
Truly amazing hurling from Thor, who was to finish runner-up by just half a point that year behind Big Z. He's not the only Viking to wreak havoc at World's Strongest Man. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, Lars Hedlund of Sweden became one of the first Europeans at the competition, even coming close to winning the title with 2 second places and 1 third. One of his favourite events was the steel bar bend.
Wilhelm not encountering any trouble. He's doing much better than he did last year. And look at the big man. Oh, Reinhardt. Here's Westwood, the bouncer from a hotel in Honolulu. And Lars Hedlund. Now they will measure. And meanwhile, Rethwish is still trying to qualify, and that's the end of it.
An excellent bend, well within the limit. Good going, Lars. Don Reinhardt, well within the limit as well. 7 inches from end to end. Excellent bender.
Don Reinhardt on the right. Bruce Wilhelm in the middle. Lars Hedlund on the left. A 60-second time limit. Reinhardt, oh, he took his hands off the ends of the bar. He's been disqualified. He is out. We are down to Wilhelm and Hedlund. There it is. Time's up. Lars can't believe that bar doesn't give any more than that.
The officials have checked the bars very carefully, and they have determined without a question of a doubt that it is a tie.
All right, that's shared with him.
Tremendous. Reigning champion Bruce Wilhelm there, only too happy to divide the points with the Swede. As well as wrecking bars with his amazing benders, Hedlund was also pretty special at another important skill, running with a fridge strapped to your back. You're probably eating the contents first, Mike.
Hey, look at Lars Hedlund explode over here on the left. He's going to be our new leader. Look at the time that Big Lars turns in, and Matusak is right there with him. I didn't believe that they raced around with refrigerators in Sweden. Watching you come up down there.
We always do, you know. We have it always.
Okay.
Have a snow.
Headland also loved going man-to-man, as Don Reinhardt found out.
Fred, he wants this. He knows that if he can beat Don, he's got a chance to win the overall competition. He can come back and beat Kolb in the finals.
Boy,
First, he's got to be the 350-pound Tiger.
Reinhardt just pulled him almost out of the sand.
Yeah. But again, he's reeling Don in now. But he's almost over the line. He's right up to the...
Dangerous strategy by Lars.
He's got a lot of rope. See, he's almost over the line himself.
He's working on Reinhardt's into the rope.
Very risky business. One jerk and Don could pull him over.
Very close to being over.
Don's, he's got to get back up for 5 seconds.
Headland's got an advantage now. He's got the big fella down.
Yes.
Headland's working right at the
The
rim.
time is almost up now. There's very little time left.
Very little rope between them. Reinhardt is really in trouble.
They're both playing out.
5 seconds left.
His hands over the line now.
He's done.
Yep, he's done.
Lars Headland in a great bit of strategy.
Oh, look at the guy go down. 60 seconds of terminal all-out effort.
Lars Headland, a Viking and a pioneer. Let's continue the Nordic theme now with Flemming Rasmussen. A 7-time Denmark strongest man, Rasmussen was Flemming good. He finished runner-up in the 1997 World Strongest Man, along the way meeting and beating the man who was to be that year's champion, the Finn, Jouko Ahola, in an epic clash of Atlas stones in the heats. The stones were one of Ahola's strongest events, so this was a rare occurrence indeed.
Ahola away the quickest, but it nearly came off, and it's Flemming in the lead now. Now, is it possible for England's Bob Weir to make it? Keep your eyes on the clock. Both of them with 2, and it's so fast. Flemming's got 3. Oh, Flemming is definitely through, I think. Ahola is well away. I fear we may not have a British competitor in the final now. Ahola getting it up well, and Flemming is finished. That is magnificent.
I actually waited for him in the last stone. I did. Wait till you see it.
Yes, and wait till you see this. America's Rick Grizzly Brown, a quiet lad, up next as we count down more of World's Strongest Man magic moments.
Whatever your next step, take it with the new Ford EcoSport. Our next step in small SUVs. New Ford EcoSport. Together, we go further.
Come on, Sergey! We'll be late for Star Wars!
Some memories last a lifetime. Share Star Wars The Last Jedi with someone special with 2-for-1 cinema tickets from Meerkat Movies.
Discover the next generation of Nivea body lotion with new deep moisture serum and double the almond oil to deeply nourish your skin this winter. Give your skin 48 hours of deep moisture with new Nivea body lotion.
This is Dad.
I'm back!
He loves his trucks, TV, and pies.
Can't distract me with a very warm, delicious-looking pie.
He's a bit old-fashioned.
Dad wanted us to meet.
Did he tell you that I needed a man?
Pretty much.
And acts real tough.
You need me to change your tire?
Do I look like the kind of guy that can't change his own tire?
But he's still Dad.
How old do I look?
25.
I'll be serious.
45.
Not that serious.
Tim Allen is the last man standing. Weeknights at 7 on 5 Star. Catch more episodes on My 5 Online.
This is called a bell hold, each bell weighing 12.5 kilograms. Now, we've already observed some pain in some of the events previous to this, but nothing so acute as you're now about to observe. What kind of pain? Well, supposing you're on a family holiday, lifting suitcases, the arms almost falling off, and the wife says, hold them out flat until I powder my nose. That, I think, is the pain of the bell hold.
Nice jumper. In 1985, an American named Grizzly Brown made his debut at World's Strongest Man. What the larger-than-life American lacked in mobility, he made up for in his arm strength, as he demonstrated during the bell hold, an event he dominated. Grizzly could just bear it longer than anyone else.
The arms are holding fast. He's now calling on reserves of will. And the vocal cords give assistance. Oh, look at the jutting chin. He's a scare. And I think he's staying long enough to win. Yes. 64.8. The Bears back in business.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. And
so didn't you feel it right down the side of the body there? You can see your body trembling.
Down the side. Well, fat people jiggle when they get tired, Jack. But I tell you something, I feel like the prettiest fat man in the world right now.
Fast forward a year, and in Nice in France, the epic Champagne Hold, where bubbly Mr. Brown was about to make another vintage performance.
Before he went out, I asked him how he blocked out the pain.
I think of the things that bring me the most joy in my life and my family. You see, I think of God and my family. How corny that sounds, I don't care.
Nothing theatrical about that yell. You could say he's calling for mercy. Now's the time to prove his great store of dogged courage. He's done it. He's beaten John Paul by just under a second.
I got it right! What was that? Give me the time right now!
In 2011, time was also of the essence for the mighty Zydrunas Savickas. At Wingate University, Z was about to set another world record, but American cop Derek Poundstone, the strong arm of the law, had other ideas as they faced off in the metal block press.
Lift! Watch how easy this one is. Oh, I nearly spoke too soon there. Once again, it was the balance that was the problem, not the weight.
Fires it up onto the third one, 130 kilos. Yeah, the pressing is nothing for him. He has every world record overhead. He doesn't have this one, though. Right here, right now, can Big Z hit 150 kilos? Many have tried this, Paul. No one's ever done it.
There aren't any handles. The metal blocks are very smooth. There's nothing really to grip onto. I know we've said this in the past, but you can't imagine how strong you have to be to shift this weight. Oh, my goodness. Well, the world record in any sport is worth cheering. And that one was very special indeed.
I had a world record from 2006 with 140 kilograms, and now I lift 150 kilograms in medley. It's much heavier, and I'm very happy because it's one of my world records.
Z with the record then, but not for long, because soon after, cheered on by a partisan crowd, up stepped Officer Poundstone.
If you saw this guy walking down the street, you'd certainly think he was big.
I'll tell you what, he's even more impressive when you see him in police uniform. You wouldn't want to be chased by him, that's for sure.
Nice and easy, take
Now, number 2. He prefers the bare chest because the blocks stick to his chest. They don't slip around, and that's quite smart from Poundstone.
Sit up!
Well, a little bit off balance on that one. There's Kristen, his wife, supporting him, along with everybody else. Now, does he fancy his chances with the big one? 150 kilos. He's taking a good look, just sizing it up here.
Well, we've already seen one man do it. We've seen Zaviskus do 1 minute 11 in a different heat. Now, Poundstone, if he does it, he'll do it quicker. He's got to get the balance point. Goodness, he's bent double, but he's going to press it.
Equals the world record. Absolutely superb, and in an even faster time. 51.93. Wonderful stuff.
20 seconds quicker than Zaviskus.
Poundstone setting the record straight there. For more mighty lifting, let's head back now to 1990 and some Anvil Loading, the penultimate event of that year's finals, where Odie Wilson was leading John Paul Sigmarsson in the race for the title. Wilson looking to become the first stateside champion since Bill Kazmaier.
There's a very big man, Jimmy. That must be a problem here.
Yes, we've got to see if we've got an answer to John Paul's challenge.
Looking fairly nimble.
He's not turning his massive bulk around, he's just skipping back for them.
That's more the technique of a boxer. It used to be one.
Yes, he's saving time too.
Well, the time's looking very good indeed. The 4th anvil's on now. Let's see the clock.
This is really fast. This could be the winning time.
He's ahead. And he's won.
But it was soon oh dear for OD. The final event that year saw him finish last and John Paul first, the European thus snatching the title from the giant hands of the American. OD often cited as the strongest man never to win this competition.
I feel I'm not taking anything away from Sigmarsson, but I feel within myself, that when it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet. I may not be able to run. I may not could jump over a bus. But I can move anything on this planet. And I'm coming back to this competition if I'm invited. And I promise you that I will be standing in #1. I promise you that.
Back in 1978, shot put champion Brian Oldfield faced a tough field of opponents. But there was one event where he shone, the tire toss. Brian using his famed Oldfield spin technique to set a world record. Even the big New Yorker Don Reinhardt couldn't compete.
Boy, clothing manufacturers must love to see these guys come through the door. Imagine the yards of cloth that it takes just to cover a big man up like that. Oh, good explosion that time by Don. That is by far his best toss. Brian Oldfield. There it is. Oh, magnificent explosion by Oldfield. He's out around 42 feet. Great throw by Brian. He is going to win our tire toss.
That's fantastic. Thank you. You put the pressure on me.
Not only that, Don, but now you have taken overall first place after 3 weeks.
I'm happy about that.
Can you keep it up now? Well,
I'm going to try. This competition is so good. Everybody is great that it can go to anybody. So we'll just give it the best shot we got.
I want my mother to see this one. Mom, watch. See the difference?
And Oldfield's winning toss, a world record.
To another record setter now. In 1999, during the World's Strongest Man heats, a young man named Whit Baskin produced an incredible display in the deadlift hold. Some tipped Baskin to become a future champion. It never happened, but here at least he was basking in glory.
Easily by Whit Baskin, Feckerty just behind him, and the clock starts. The target 52.56, and I suppose what we're looking at here is a real battle for this second qualifying place. Ravensberg is pretty much in the final already. He's got a good lead over the contest, but the second place is between Laszlo Fekete and Whit Baskin at the moment. So there's everything to go for in this penultimate event. The American's solid, and if possible, Whit Baskin has to put as much space between himself and Fekete as possible. Fekete trying to block everything out. That's Whit Baskin. The contrast in their expressions is incredible. They're way past what Andreas Hoffman did, and Fekete goes down. That was very sudden, and Baskin is hanging on. In the lead, the American. His brother is in the audience shouting out the time to him. This is phenomenal, 75 seconds. Way in the lead, and still two very good competitors to go, of course. But Ravensberg, the overall leader, and the Olympic weightlifter Ravensberg Barniz. And if those two could go ahead of Fekete as well, Whit Baskin may be safe in the final. His brother saying, keep going. This is getting ridiculous. I've never seen anybody approaching 2 minutes. We had it in Nevada a few years ago, and the best time there was about 90 seconds. We're over 100 now, approaching 2 minutes. Phenomenal, that's all I can say. Even Jamie Reeves there, a former world's strongest man, next to Baskin, must be amazed at how he's hanging on by his fingertips. Oh, he's gone. That was unbelievable. And Fekete, totally perplexed. Well, almost all the blood has drained away from Whit Baskin's head. He's probably feeling a little bit faint, but he'll be back soon. That was unbelievable.
The land of the maple leaf has also produced its fair share of strongman feats. Canadian Hugo Girard gave us many such moments. In 2002, Girard found himself drawn into a particularly tough group in the heat, one that included none other than Mariusz Pudzianowski. Most expected the legendary Pole to breeze through the competition. Girard, though, had other ideas, and the truck ball was where he looked to overtake Mariusz.
At the moment, despite the fact there are still 2 events to go, he's got a real chance of making it through to the final, and looking good here. Hugo Girard, the only competitor to go after Pudzianowski. Mick Gosling's time, 50.43. And I hate to say this, but Pudzianowski is going faster. This is good from the pole. He's hardly let up at all down this 30-meter course. Pudzianowski stops the clock, 46.84, and that is a big lead.
Are you ready? Take a spring.
This guy is absolutely massive. There was a report that Hugo Girard's chest earlier on this year had been pumped up to 70 inches. That is absolutely unbelievable. But Girard head down, legs pumping, arms pulling on that rope. He's looking awesome. Have you ever seen a pair of shoulders broader than that? I very much doubt it. And Girard could be heading for victory number 3. Pudzianowski's time, 46.84. And I hate to say it once again, but I think Mick Gosling's going to be relegated to 3rd place. Still good points for the Brit, but it's all between Girard and Pudzianowski now. Can he beat 46 seconds? Yes, he can, by a mile. It is victory number 3 for the Canadian.
2 years later, in the Bahamas, Girard took on another of the sport's legends, Zydrunas Savickas. The event was one of Savickas' favourites, the Atlas Stone. But despite an injured foot, Girard again proved that he could beat the best.
And Savickas into the lead now, picking up bonus points all the time. 1 extra point for each of the Atlas Stones. And number 4 weighs a massive 275 kilos. Now then, Savickas trying to go for number 5. Remember, it's Adrian Rollinson who set the fastest time in the last program, 31.38. They're both outside of that sort of time, but look at Hugo Girard. Is he going to win it? Yes, he is.
I thought you had a bad foot. I have a bad foot. But you know, I just put it on the side for 43 seconds.
Ha! Well, coming up, more magic memories featuring more of Europe's best contenders and a 44-ton plane.
Live the life, RX. Lexus. Experience amazing.
Come on, Sergey. You'll be late for Star Wars.
Some memories last a lifetime. Share Star Wars The Last Jedi with someone special with 2-for-1 cinema tickets from Meerkat Movies.
Discover the next generation of Nivea body lotion with new deep moisture serum and double the almond oil to deeply nourish your skin this winter. Give your skin 48 hours of deep moisture with new Nivea body lotion.
Baraka presents Baraka, you but on a really good day.
As well as being the most successful British strongman of his generation, Terry Hollands is also one of the world's best vehicle pullers, something he demonstrated in Malta in 2009, dominating the field with his haul of a 44-ton plane.
And the mark to beat, 40.53, put up by both Americans, Brian Shaw and Travis Ortmeyer. Guys, you talk about how good Terry Hollands is at this. Why?
Terry's a former rugby player. He's constantly pushing inside the scrum. And he's doing movements just like this. There's a lot of carryover.
Well, Terry Hollands is doing just that. Remember, folks, that is 96,800 pounds. And Terry Hollands going to do it. New mark to beat in the plane pole. 38.19 seconds for the big man from England.
Come on! That was enough to secure Hollands the win in this event. Terry wasn't just about pulling, though. 2 years later, he faced a head-to-head with his compatriot Lawrence Charlet. The challenge was the Atlas Stones, and the prize for the winner was a place on the world's strongest man podium.
So it's Hollands on the left, Charlet on the right. Phil, this is an old-fashioned English duel.
Hollands looks to be a little conservative here. Charlet being very aggressive, but Hollands already in the lead.
So here it is, the fifth and final stone, 440 pounds. And Terry Hollands has done it. His wife Lauren cheering on.
Hollands securing the second podium finish of his World's Strongest Man career, and in some style. Another of England's finest strongmen is Mark Felix. Originally from Grenada, Felix is almost unstoppable at deadlift for reps. Many challengers have tried and failed to take his crown, as youngster Kevin Nee found during the 2007 heats. Nee had set an incredible time. Felix, though, would prove to be in an uncompromising mood.
Look how explosive he is once the weight gets in.
This is actually no weight for him. He's lifted with a regular bar well over 800 pounds.
Well, he's certainly on his way. Remember the time to beat, just over 30 seconds, put it by Jarek Dimmick. That's the entire rack, and here it is. He's done it. Kevin Nee has moved into first place, 29.57 seconds.
Mark's the third oldest guy here, but has proven age is no factor when measuring overall strength.
Well, the mark to beat will be 7 lifts in 29.57 seconds, put up moments ago by American Kevin Nee. And I'll tell you what, Mark Felix looks like he is on his way.
This is just a walk in the park.
This is it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he could do this 10 times.
And he's done it. 28.39 seconds and an extra lift. And an extra lift again, and Kevin Nee is just dumbfounded. Are you kidding me?
World-class backstrap.
Your winner in the deadlift, Mark Felix, 7 reps, 28.39 seconds plus 2.
A few thrown in for good measure. Thanks, Mark. Dutchman Ab Volders was twice a runner-up during his World's Strongest Man career in 1984 and in 1989, where he rewrote the form book in the opening event, taking on John Paul Sigmarsson in the car turnover with a flipping good performance.
Originally, Volders only came to watch the contest, but the official Dutch competitor dropped out and Ab has stepped into his shoes. Now let's see who'll make the early running Volders. Very quick to turn over the first, but of course John Paul Sigmarsson, this mighty frame from Iceland, doing tremendously well. Very quick in his feet. These two men exceptionally fast at this stage. So far it's level. Sigmarsson grabbing the wheel arch, turning it over, a sprint to the finish, and Volders gets there first, so immediately defeat and disappointment for the current champion. So, confirmation of the placings at the end of event 1, with the Dutchman Ab Volders leading with 8 points, followed by the current champion John Paul Sigmarsson. Then it's Reeves and Kazmaier, but Volders is well pleased.
What a terrific start from the guy who came in at the last moment.
Well, I told you I was fast, but I didn't know I was that fast. You're faster, but you have to have the lift. And it's my kind of event.
3-time Europe's strongest man, Riku Kiri, had no problems with lifts either, and like Volders, he was often within a hair's breadth of winning the title. In 1996, Kiri finished just behind Magnus Berbankersen, but he did prove too much for the Icelander in an incredible throw-for-height duel.
Just taking his time, composing himself. Oh, and then boom, just like a human catapult for that breeze block. Magnus, 2 big swings, and heave-ho. Oh, yes! The first man to clear at 6:30. Kukiri to follow, never shows much emotion, but he has a tremendous desire to win every contest. Magnus knows that. Oh, that's clear by a huge margin. And up we go again to 6 meters 60. That's about 4 feet higher than a double-decker bus. Incredible upper body strength, and he gets it. He almost punched a hole through the wall. He's definitely the top man at the moment. Oh, it's a big effort, but it's not enough. That's 7 points for Iceland. Maximum points, though, to Riku Kiri.
Hailing from the same town as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Austrian Manfred Herbel was one of the most dynamic athletes of the 90s, and in '94 at Sun City, he dominated his heat.
The course has been reset, and here is nearly 300 pounds of solid muscle striding out onto the beach. Ted, whose height for once may be a disadvantage due to how low he must get to lift these weights out of the sand. So once again, a head-to-head between these two, but Fekkede's time was mighty impressive. Manfred just in the lead at the end of the first. And at the second, he's going like a train. Maybe Laszlo was right, he's almost running. His time is so fast. This is the last one. He's going to win this easily. 23.35 seconds. That has taken Fekkede's time apart. Ted van der Para still going, and this last stone is really making him hurt. He'll finish third with that. But what about Manfred Herbel? Just watch this. Look at how big those arms are. It looks as though he's just reached up to the trees, pinched a couple of coconuts and had them bolted onto his arms. Manfred, under those conditions, sand underfoot, that's got to be one of the fastest times ever.
Most probably. I think I can add a little to that, maybe at the final. But considering sand, I'm quite happy. It must be really.
It looked as though at one point, I mean, your biceps are enormous anyway, and that obviously helped lift the stones. It looked as though they were about to explode. Did you feel any pressure in your arms at all?
The stones are so light here, it feels great.
Ready! 30.84 seconds to beat. Oh, just look at the speed of Manfred already. He's almost sprinting. Ted going well, but Herbel is around the first turn in well under 10 seconds. Ted just taking a slightly wider berth. Manfred's nearly at the end of the course already, just 25 meters to go. He turns again. Watch this. This is going to be victory number 3. That is a stunning time. Ted needs to keep working. He finishes now absolutely exhausted, outside the Hungarian's time. But this event, indeed the last 3 events, all belong to Manfred Herbel. Manfred, congratulations, you've won 3 events, you're through to the final, but I must ask you, at the end there, was that a cry of anguish or a laugh?
It was a laugh. I thought they were heavy, everybody was telling me it's heavy. It's like balloons. That was all right.
From a herbal remedy to Estonian Tarmo Mitt. Mitt was a top 10 finisher for 4 consecutive years in the noughties, and one of his most dramatic moments came in his debut in 2005, where he broke past the pain barrier in a brave bid to set a new world record in the Hercules hole.
Just as a reminder, that's 706 pounds he is pulling, and the mark to beat is 56.01, put up by American Don Pope.
Todd, as we watch Tarmo, it's really his grip that's his biggest asset. When you look at his chest and shoulders and traps, they're not that big, massive, and strong. I think it's his grip and his ability to relax and hold these pillars that's helping him hold on as long as he does.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some time here, so we'll tell you a little bit about Tarmo Mitt. He's a 5-time Estonian strongest man, competed in judo for 8 years.
The martial arts are probably helping him with his mental concentration.
He's going to need it now as he goes past the mark of Don Pope. So Tarmo Mitt of Estonia is the new leader, Cassidy. He looks like he's going to go a little while longer.
Unbelievable. He knows he's got it. It's just how long does he want to hold?
The answer, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Tarmo Mitt with the new time to beat.
You smashed the world record, making those 353-pound pillars look easy.
I feel very good, and I feel after 40 seconds that I can do that.
His sleeves might not fit anymore, but no problem. During the 1990s, Latvian Ravensberg Barniz was part of his country's Olympic weightlifting team and flag bearer at the opening ceremony of the Barcelona Games. As well as setting 21 national records, he finished inside the top 5 of World's Strongest Man on 4 occasions. In the 1997 heats, he took on Fijian Derek Boyer in the log lift for a duel that has lasted long in the memory.
Watch that, it's so fast and explosive. A good lift. Well, that's the best place to be today. Derek Boyer asking for a little bit of help here, 150 kilos. Oh, it looks so awkward up to the chest. 24 stones the weight. And a big push with the arms, just like an old-fashioned press in weightlifting, and he's got it! So, it's just left to Ravensberg Barniz here and Derek Boyer to decide number 1 and 2. Still 155 kilos, nobody has lifted it yet. Smooth lifting so far, yes! What a fabulous lift! Derek Boyer now with the same weight. He must believe he can do it. His technique won't be as good as Barniz, but he's so strong and so determined. Oh, look at the bend he's getting in his back. That's a little bit dangerous. No, he's going to finish with second, but it is another big score. The last lift of the competition, and Ravensberg Barniz flying onto the platform. It's amazing what a boost in confidence can do for your performance. He's already won this event, but can he do 160 kilos? Everybody glued to the climax of the log lift, and that is spectacular. Oh, and so was that.
Up next, athletes from the Pacific Islands and Africa, a long way from home, on World's Strongest Man Magic Moments.
Just off the floor, straining every muscle fibre in his body.
When your cold goes from bad to worse, what do you make? A hot honey and lemon drink? That won't cut it. Try Strong Stuff, Day and Night Nurse. Its pharmacy strength and 24-hour relief can knock out your worst cold and flu symptoms day and night, helping you to sleep well. Day and Night Nurse, Strong Stuff. Only available at the pharmacy counter.
You can sew almost anything into the canvas of a coat.
Critics agree. Phantom Thread is pure delicious pleasure.
When I was a boy, I started to hide things in the linings of the garments.
And now it's been nominated for 4 BAFTAs, including Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis.
Coins, words, little messages. Things that only I knew were there. Secrets.
Phantom Thread. In cinemas February 2nd.
Known as the Island Warrior, Fijian Derek Boyer competed at World's Strongest Man 8 times and quickly became known as one of the competition's most colourful characters.
I'm very proud to be an Islander. I have a very strong background in the warrior ways. I extend that into my performances here.
Now balance is so important. Oh, almost a false start and the Spaniard in trouble already. Hugo Girard, the Canadian, just ahead of the rest at the moment. Oh, Girard's got a problem. And Derek Boyer on the far side streaking away. Rob Dixon has dropped it as well. Boyer comes away, maximum points for him. What a flyer. polka or the war dance normally starts before any contest. He's rubbing salt in the wound now to all the rest. Derek Boyer absolutely tore down the track. He won it by a mile.
Do you expect to win that?
Yeah, I did. I'm 100% committed to winning that heat, that event, and felt good.
One of the most remarkable personalities from the Pacific Islands was Samoa's Joe Onosai. Onosai had been a pro football player for the Dallas Cowboys in the States before travelling around the globe competing at World's Strongest Man. Despite his many journeys, he never lost touch with his roots.
My grandfather is a paramount chief, which is equivalent to like the district king. My father is a high chief as well, so several years ago I went back to Samoa to get my chief title, and also was branded by these tattoos. It's a very extensive work, but a big honor, a badge of honor in our culture. It took about a week of 3.5 hours a day, and the tattoo artist is constantly, he does it with a sharpened boar tusk, and he's pounding it. He pounds it into you.
It must have been agony, wasn't it?
It's
really painful.
Very painful. And the thing is, you're butt naked in front of the whole village. The whole village sits outside of the house, and they sing songs, and they encourage you. Because the thing is, once you start these tattoos, you have to complete it. If you don't complete it, then it's an embarrassment to your family.
A little bit like World's Strongest Man events. Onosai was anything but an embarrassment during the mid to late 90s. The Samoan was a master at lifting challenges, and a man who, wherever he went, always took a little bit of his homeland with him.
Just a little twitch of the legs, and now the push with the arms. Oh, here we go.
The Samoan's arm strength was one of his chief weapons, as Magnus Ver Magnussen found out on more than one occasion. Here's the two men competing in the 95 log press.
But both men's scores ticking away, and it's Magnussen with the slight advantage at this stage. Joe just pushing away, making it all look so easy. Magnus just with a little bit more body movement, approaching 20 now. He's trying so hard to move ahead of Anton. Joe's still going. He's catching up the Icelander, in fact, and going for the win. What a fantastic effort. It's 22 all, and look at this. He's got the 23. Magnussen is second once again. Onosai really has got off to a fantastic start this year. The top two putting on a great display for everybody.
From one of the largest now to one of the smallest, the 5'6" Kenyan Pius Ochieng, who in 1984 battled both an unfamiliar environment and the local favourite in the truck pull.
Did you find it very difficult with the snow and the ice?
Oh yeah, I'm freezing, and all what I want to do is put as much pressure as I can wherever it's possible.
Are you at all used to these sort of conditions for athletics?
Not really. This is my first time to experience such weather.
Now remember, each of these trucks weighs 8 tons, and hard-packed snow is a surface that's never been used before in this competition. But Pius Ochieng is getting a good foothold now. He's only 5.5 feet tall and 15.5 stone. That's pretty small by strongman standards. He's 25, he lives in Nairobi, and he's Kenya's outstanding Olympic-style powerlifter. Well, Ingvar Gustafsson used to be a sprinter at school, and now he's trying to sprint and pull a truck at the same time. He's doing well, though, but he's a much slower man than Ochieng. Pius got into a good towing action there, almost strolling to the finishing line, and he gets there in 47 seconds, I make it. And Ingvar Gustafsson marches in. This time, 1 minute and 16 seconds.
All what I had to do is show everybody that I'm a fighter. You see, when you're on the ring,
you've got to keep going.
Another of Africa's most popular strongmen was Gerrit Badenhorst. One of the best static strength athletes of his generation, the South African was also very quick. Indeed, he was practically unbeatable in events like the car flip.
18.95 seconds to beat. Akiri just ahead, but only just. In fact, they turned the car onto the roof at exactly the same time. This is neck and neck. Look at this. Who's got the fastest legs? Badenhorst by a split second. That was so fast by both men. Gerrit on this side, goes at it like a raging bull. There's no petrol or glass in those cars for safety reasons, but the engine is still there. Badenhorst is away, going for the line. Magnus is chasing. They're going to finish first and second. Badenhorst on the far side, Ayanaho closest. And it's the South African who gets away first. And incidentally, wearing Riku Kiri's big javelin spikes. A big push there from Gerrit. Look at this, 11.51. That is the winning time.
When he wasn't flipping cars or tightening belts, Badenhorst was also a static monster. In 1996, indeed, he deadlifted a weight which wouldn't be equalled in strongman competition for another 12 years.
Oh, it's just off the floor, straining every muscle fibre in his body. Badenhorst comes back in form. He knows it. And so do they. A really phenomenal lift by the South African.
Yeah, I like the pure strength events. This is about the only real pure strength event in the competition, and I prove again that I'm the strongest deadlifter in the world.
Men like Badenhorst may not have won the overall title, but they have provided us along the way with so many memories and helped build the legend that is World's Strongest Man.